Welcome along to today's training webinar on permission management in SuiteFiles. My name is Andrew Sims, and for the next 10 or so minutes we're going to have a look at permission management. In particular, we're going to go over what an administrator can do, how to set a user up as an administrator, securing folders so that only a select group of people can access them. Let's first of all have a look at a SuiteFiles administrator and what they can do. You can have any number of people you like set up as an administrator, but normally most organisations only have one or two. So here's what administrators can do in SuiteFiles. They can delete, that is deleting folders and deleting files. That's something that a standard user can't do. Administrators can also create top-level folders, that is the folders immediately under the home folder in SuiteFiles. Standard users can't do that. Administrators can create and edit document templates. A standard user can use a document template for creating a new file from, but they actually can't create or edit those templates. An admin user can access every folder in SuiteFiles. That sort of makes sense because an administrator needs to be able to administer the entire site. So whether there are permissions set up on a folder or not, an administrator can always access everything. And administrators can create security groups and apply permissions based on those security groups. What I mean there is that they can lock down folders so that only a select group of people within your organisation can access the content of that folder. Okay, let's jump over to our demo site and show you how to set up an administrator in SuiteFiles and then talk about how we can apply permissions to those folders that you've got as well. So I've got my SuiteFiles site here and I'm logged in as an administrator already. You can tell that you're an administrator because you will have 8 icons down the left-hand side of the system here, which includes the templates and the groups icons. If you're a standard user, you won't have those icons on the screen. Now, only an administrator can set up another person to be an administrator in the system. And that's simply done by coming into the groups area, by clicking on the groups icon, and you need to add the user to the owners group. Now, for some of you, this will be called team site owners. For others of you, it might have your business name, but the key is the word owners in this group here under all groups. Click on the group, and you can see I've got a number of members of that group. These are the people who at the moment are admins of the site. And if I want to add another admin, maybe I want to add Dana, I can just simply start typing in the name of the user. You can see it starts to auto-complete here, and you can click on the name, and that's now added Dana to the group called owners, and that means that Dana is now a full administrator of this site. If for any chance the name that you're trying to type in doesn't auto-complete, simply type their Office 365 username in there, the full username, and hit enter. That'll resolve and the user will be added into the security group. So that's how you can easily take any user in the system and turn them into an administrator. Now what I want to show you is how we can, as an administrator, apply permissions to a specific folder in SuiteFiles so that only a select group of people can actually access that folder. This is done by creating a new security group and adding the people to the group. Now the group can have one or more people as members. You can have up to, I think it's 5,000 people inside a security group. So for every one of our customers, we're well within those limits. The group is then applied to a folder, and that means that only the members of the security group applied to the folder can see the folder in SuiteFiles. Now there is a restriction that Office 365 does put in place that you need to know about when setting up permissions on folders, and that is if the folder has more than 5,000 items underneath it, that is subfolders or files. If there's more than 5,000 items under a subfolder, you actually can't add or remove security groups from that folder. You can change the people who are members of the security groups that are applied to it, but you just can't add or remove security groups on that folder. But again, I think that's a pretty rare scenario that's going to happen for our customers. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up a little security group and apply it to a folder, and then I'm going to show you another user who's a standard user and show you what happens for them. So what you can see on my screen now, SuiteFiles home screen, is I've got a folder here. It's called secret folder, classified. And if I look inside it, you can see I've got some files in here that I don't want anyone to see, and I've got some subfolders also with secret stuff in them. I'm just going to switch browser. I've logged in as another user called standard user, and this person, as you can see over on the vertical bar on the left side, they don't have that templates or groups icon, which indicates that they're logged in with just standard user permissions. They are not an administrator, and right now they can see this folder, the secret folder, and all of the items that are within it. What I want to do is I want to be able to hide this folder so that this user, the standard user, can't see that folder anymore. So what I've done is I've gone back now to my user who's logged in as an administrator, and I click on the groups icon. I now need to create a new group. I'm going to call this one my secret folder group. So I type into the little text box there and I click the create new group link. You can now see under all groups here I've got the secret folder group, and if I click on that, there's no one who's in it because I've only just created it. I use this little text box over on the right hand side here, and I can now add users. Let's add Callum. He can be my only user in that group. And I just simply close this form. So now what I've done there is I've set up a security group and I've added users to it. As I said, you can have one user or many users that are members of the group. The next thing I want to do is I want to apply that security group to this folder. Now that's done by opening up the folder. So I'm in this one called secret folder, classified, and I click on the edit link. As an administrator, I'll see this option here about inherits permissions. So inherits permissions means that the folder that I'm in has the same permissions as its parent folder. So in this case, that would be the home folder. What I want to do is I want to uncheck the box. So I'm breaking the permission levels. And what you can see is all of the security groups that we've got in the system here, including the new security group called secret folder group. If I click on the name secret folder group, it's going to change all the checkboxes there for read and edit access for those other groups. Now, only the members of the secret folder group can access this folder. Of course, as I mentioned, there's a caveat that any administrator can access everything, but generally what we're trying to do, that we're going to lock this down so that our standard users can't access the folder. In order to save and preserve the changes I've made, I just simply click my mouse anywhere outside of that little form, that drop down there, and that closes that form. So now what we've done is we have secured this folder. If we have a look as our admin user, the folder is being displayed, and I can click in and I can see all the content. If I now switch back to my standard user profile over here, you can see that folder is still displayed, but I just need to refresh my screen, and the folder is now gone. So now the standard user doesn't even see the folder in their system, so they can't be confused as to why it's there. Maybe sometimes you have systems where the folder will show, but you can't click into it. You need password credentials to do that. That's not what we've done. We've just simply hidden it from the view so that person can't ever access it. They can't search for the contents of that folder either. All the search and everything that we've got inside of SuiteFiles does have security trimming on it, so you can only find or get things back from search results that actually you're allowed to see. And just to show you, if I change the permissions again, if I go back to my secret folder as an administrator and recheck the inherits permissions, what we'll see now is if we go back to our standard users login here and refresh the screen, you can see that folder is now displaying again. So just by that little subtle change of the security group, we can hide that folder for you. And that is permission management in SuiteFiles. We have a minute or so now. If anyone has any questions, you can ask those questions through the GoToWebinar tool, and yeah, now's the time to ask those. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put up this this page just really to say thank you for coming along. I haven't had any questions come in just yet, but thanks for turning up and having a look at our little training webinar today about permission management in SuiteFiles. If you need to get hold of us and want to ask any questions about this topic or any other topic, our support line is the best way to go. So our email address, which is support@suitefiles.com. Also, we've got our knowledge base, which hopefully you all know about, and that's help.suitefiles.com. And I have had a question come through, so let me just see if I can read this. Is there a user that doesn't have full administration permission but can delete folders and files and edit templates? At this stage, no, unfortunately. It's something that we do get asked about, but no, we don't have a different user permission level. You're either an administrator or you're not. Do we have any other questions? Okay, no questions have come. Oh, sorry. Do the standard users on setup need to remain, e.g. Excel? Oh, I see. I think I know what you're asking there. Let's go back into here, and oops, that's the wrong one. Under the groups here, we've got there are 4 standard groups, and you're well spotted. These are groups that are set up by Microsoft in Office 365. Excel services viewers, members, owners, and visitors. It is my strong advice to never delete those groups. They are system groups, as I say, that are set up by Microsoft, and certainly deleting them can cause all sorts of issues. We have had people who have deleted both the members group and the owners groups in the past, and that actually simply shuts everyone's access down. And the other groups, I must admit I haven't played with deleting them, but as I say, I would leave them. They are system groups. Okay, folks, thanks again for your time. That's our time up. As I say, if you have any other questions, please feel free to fire them through to support@suitefiles.com or check out our knowledge base at help.suitefiles.com. This session has also been recorded and will be sent out to everyone who registered for it today. Thanks very much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.